What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Reafi here again. So today we're actually going to be talking about something that we never usually talk about. If you guys haven't noticed, through my history of YouTube and my Summoner's War career, I've mainly just kind of focused on PvE content like TOA, kind of monsters like reviews and like all of like the guild, like some stuff like that. I was about to say Guild Wars, but that's PvP. And I mostly focused on those types of things, and I've been recently focusing more on Arena and Guild Wars. So Guild Wars, I've been fixing up my defense, and I've been getting, like some pretty good success stuff, right? Like I'm in the green, I get an equal amount of successfuls, draws, and losses. So the successfuls and draws is the same amount of the losses, which is good. It's a good start. Also for my Arena defense, let's take a look. This is what it's looking like. Now, I haven't been refilling. I haven't been pushing for about a month, maybe 2 months now. I haven't really been trying in Arena, but this is what it's looking like. If you noticed, my best score was 145. My defense success rate is 6.1%. That is really bad. Now the victory rate is 82.8%. Now you'll notice that my victory rate now is 95.5%. I haven't really attacked much, but I've been using my wings while they pop up and stuff like that, and I've just been a little bit busy. But my defense rate is 26.8%. That's not that bad. Honestly, that's not that bad at all. And the reason I'm showing you the stats is I just want to give you an idea of where I'm at. I am a Guardian 1 player. I'm closing in on Guardian 2. I'm going to start pushing again, but I just needed a few crystals from this TOA reset, which I did get some. I spent about 600 on Dragon's Beat 10 refills. Haven't been getting jack shit from that, but I'll show you my monsters here. Okay, so now that you guys know a little bit about where I'm at, we're going to talk about making a Guardian level defense. So I know I focused a lot on the lower level players. Let's talk about you mid-game players. Let's reach out a little bit. So you conquer 2, conquer 3 players. You want to make a Guardian level defense. Now, okay, this isn't going to be some crazy natural 5-star Guardian level 3, type stuff. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars to reach Guardian. You can be free to play and hit Guardian. It's not that bad. Mainly the thing is, of course, your offense, right? Your offense is definitely what makes you Guardian. But of course, having a good, scary defense helps you reach it easier because there's players that could have the best types of Wombo teams and Speed Lucians and all of these types of things, and they won't reach Guardian because they get hit so many times. And also, it helps whenever you get a defense successful. It helps to revenge because they won't attack you back. So when you revenge them, they won't hit you back. Now, be careful if you do that in Arena. You could get into a big revenge battle during Rush Hour mainly. But yeah. Okay, so this is the gist of it. When you make a defense, you want it to be threatening. Okay? You could make a troll defense that stalls and all this crazy stuff if you have the runes for it. But mainly the thing is to make a threatening defense. Now you notice here, I'm running Faye, the dark Kung Fu girl. She does incredible damage. Now she's not speedy, of course, but she does have a pretty good amount of HP, almost 18,000. And she's got really, really good stats. Trust me, she is going to one-shot a lot of monsters. And I'm running double attack bar buff. Now, just think critical here, okay? Now, I'm bringing this up because there's no single types of defenses that will carry you all the way. There's different types of defenses you could come up with. It all is dependent on your monsters, right? It's dependent on what you have summoned. So, if you notice here, I'm using double attack bar boost with Theomars. Theomars is a very, very, very strong, free-to-play monster that you could actually utilize for this type of stuff, since you can get him from the guild summoning pieces, right? Also, another very underrated, well, I shouldn't say underrated because everyone freaking uses him, is Veramos. Now, my Veramos stats, they're not that great at all, actually. Just running Violent Nemesis, right? So, he is actually quite terrifying on defense because he stuns every 3 turns. So he stuns, then he'll go twice with his first skill, and then he'll stun again. On top of that, he uses the Conversion of Magic passive to remove harmful effects, 1 per turn that he gets. Very annoying. Another monster that you could utilize if you have the runes for it. Okay, my stats are less than optimal, but I only use Belladon for certain dungeons and whatnot. And sometimes, no, yeah, only dungeons really. So that's why I run such high accuracy, because I hate failing runs because of the low accuracy. Now, Belladon can in fact help you on defense if you're okay with that, because you need good runes. That's first off. You need very strong runes. Definitely, I would say Violent Nemesis. You're going to want to shoot for up in the 180s, maybe higher. A really fast Belladon can be quite terrifying. These beasts, oh, they always violent proc. I don't know what it is with the Belladons, but they always violent proc. And it helps because when you're going first, you want your Belladon to go before your Veramos, but close, so that you could strip, and then the Veramos can stun, or like stuff like that, right? That's just another example. By the time you're getting ready to get to Guardian, you'll probably have a Chisoon. If you don't have a Chisoon, it's not a big deal. But Chisoon is also a really, really great monster to use. Now, a very, very, really cool combo that I should say that a lot of people don't really look at. They kind of look over it because by the time you reach Guardian, a lot of players there have spent a good amount of money. They've got some really good, pretty good summons. Chisoon, right? If you use Chisoon with Theomars, if you can get Chisoon to buff right before Theomars, right? So check it out. My Chisoon has 187 speed. Now, the HP is a little bit low. I need to get that higher. The resistance is okay. I can get some from grindstones and enchanted gems. Or sorry, just the enchanted gems. So you notice how my Chisoon is 187 speed. And then the Theomars is also 187. Now, the base speed for Chisoon is one more than Theomars. Chisoon is guaranteed to go right before Theomars, and Theomars is guaranteed to go right after Chisoon. So now he has an attack buff, and he's ready to go. He defense breaks on his second skill. Really strong. If you don't have Galleon, I'd highly suggest start looking at some other options like Lure and whatnot. So there's so many combos, it's impossible to go through them all, but I'll talk about some of the main ones. So threatening defenses, definitely, okay? So Theomars, very, very strong unit to use. If you have any other like nukers, make sure that they can survive. They don't need to necessarily be natural 5 stars, but they need to be monsters that can survive at least, right? They need to be ones that can survive a few hits. So using stuff like Theomars where he gets the Endure, he can survive that, right? Now, that doesn't mean bruisers. Using stuff like Arnold, that is not damage. That is a bruiser. You want to stay away from bruisers like Ramagos, kind of a bruiser. Arnold, he's a bruiser. Stuff like that where it's very, very high HP, single target damage on cooldowns. So you don't want to use stuff like Conrad, Arnold, Rakan, all those types of units. You don't want to use those on defense. Now, some people use troll defenses and stuff like that with them. Ignore them. They're just people that want to play around because they can actually hold it based on the runes I have. If it's your first time trying to hit Guardian, you really want to focus on good units that can do damage, be threatening, and then of course, if you can utilize Chloe. I complain about Chloe all the time, but there's a reason, and that's because it works, right? It works. Now, it doesn't work for me. Like, it doesn't work against me. I usually win against Chloe defenses. It just happens to be the fact that accuracy and resistance ratios are pretty garbage right now. So if you abuse Chloe and make her really fast, high resistance, you can piss off a lot of players. Veramos to stun units as well after Chloe, always fun. Seriously, like the resistance and accuracy ratios, use them to your advantage. Also, you're going to want to make sure your stats are good, okay? Just because you got the monsters does not mean that you're going to reach Guardian. So on top of that, you're going to want at least a fast defense. So you could have all these units, really high HP and all this stuff. If you don't have fast units, you're not going to go anywhere. Okay, because if you don't get turns and the enemy's getting a ton of turns, you're dead. And everyone from Conquer 3 and up is all using fast clearing, most of them I should say, are all using fast clearing AOs. Okay, so they're all going to be using stuff like Amir, or they're going to be using Zyros, they're like Poseidon, and like all these like AoE nukers and stuff like that. Lucians, they're definitely going to be using Lucians. So you definitely have to prepare for that. They're going to be trying to speed clear you, Now, during the midweek, it's not that big of a deal. Midweek, this is kind of like the format for it. Midweek, you'll want to have some kind of threatening defense like I was talking about. So let me show you. So this is my midweek defense. I just used Faye, Bernard, Orion, Theomars. I get like around 25 to 30% usually each week for the successful rates, and it helps me. I just hold Conquer 3. I sit in Conquer 3 all week and just chill and use my swords when I feel like them. Now, if you guys are just pushing Guardian 1, you probably float around Conqueror 2. That's probably where you'll stand for the moment. And then what you want to do is you want to prepare. So you prepare yourself during the midweek. You stay in a certain position around Conquer 2, maybe early Conquer 3 and a little bit higher. Then during rush hour, you'll push a little bit higher. And then the last 30 minutes, you will attack like crazy. And you should be around rank 400 when you start if you're just pushing into Guardian. You don't want to push too high or people are going to farm you. You also want to have a defense that presents an image, right? So if I put on a defense that is very nice, but doesn't really look that hard or looks really, like, oh yeah, I'm going to go double-lution that, everyone's going to try to hit it. And even if you get more successfuls, if there's more people hitting you, you're eventually going to get more losses, which means you're going to be ending up dropping further than you're going up. So you want to have a defense that no one wants to hit. So I'm not giving you specific defenses to use, right? You have to use your brain with this. And I know it might be a little bit confusing. I'm going to try to get a little bit better at explaining Arena and stuff like that because, let's face it, Arena and Guild Wars is not really my thing, but I'm trying to make it my thing now. I'm going to be pushing higher now. I should be able to hit Guardian 2 next week or, something like that because I'm starting to get really good units like Iona and stuff like that. But that's besides the point. So use the units that you have, right? Also, a very, very good thing, if you have speedy units, making a speedy offense with like Bernard or even like a Vertihil or even with like Lisa, you could utilize that with Theomars. And even though it's single target on defense, it will pick off units if it's violent. One unit, that's all it takes. You just have to take out one unit. And that could throw the entire offense run for the attacker into a big spiral, okay? So let's say they're bringing some type of Lucian offense. You outspeed them. You pick off a Lucian. They're in big trouble. As long as you have some kind of sustainability as well. So you could go speedy defense. You could try to trap. You got to prepare against specific ones. So now that we've established you need a really speedy defense with, of course, some type of threat up until rush hour, okay? Now, you need to prepare for certain types of offenses to make a defense that you're going to be putting on. So there's the Wombo, right? There's the Wombo offense, which is basically will runes and shield runes on everyone with like Galleon or Lure, and then you put on some like AoE damage and stuff like that. Then there's double Lucians, there's single Lucian, high damage, and then there is, there's a lot. There is a lot. There's some people use like Sierra for like a Sierra speedy one with like Theomars, but that's way too slow. Mainly, you're going to be protecting against Wombo and Lucians. So what does that mean for you? That means you're going to be wanting Nemesis runes to interrupt double Lucian teams. You're going to want to at least 30k on your healers so that they can proc Nemesis and they won't get one-shotted by Lucians. Now, another thing, very important, if you're going to be running a trap for Lucians, all of your monsters need at least 30k because the best Lucians that I've seen for single target Lucians, single Lucian teams, like they do like Shimite, Bernard, Lucian, Sayak or something like that, or even they use Megan. So it's like for those ones, if they bring Lucian, it's going to be doing about 10k per card. Yeah, 10k per card. Speedy team. So they're going to go first. Their Lucian's going to go. It's going to do about 10k per card. So you're going to want at least 30k on your healers. Proc Nemesis. You notice I've got 30k on my Praha. Now I need more than that because higher than Guardian 1, Guardian 2, the cards are starting to do like 11k. Now, some players, they don't have that, but a lot of the ones that use Lucian teams, they do. Now, for Wombo teams to counter Wombo teams, the only way to counter Wombo teams, I would say, is Wheel Runes. Having Wheel Runes on all your units, they're going to need to bring some type of buff removal. If you can hide that, if you can bring like, stuff like... now, if you put on Chloe on defense, that's an obvious signature to bring buff removal. They're gonna bring buff removal. So if you have Chloe on your team, they're bringing buff removal. It's a given, okay? So don't expect to trap anyone with Will Runes if you're using Chloe. But if you're using a team with like Veramos, Belladion, and stuff like that, I'm not telling you to put, Will Runes on them, but if you are using those like types of monsters and you don't have any immunity on the team and you put Will Runes and they're faster than you on their Wombo team, they don't bring buff removal, you just trapped them and you might be able to actually win it. Also, it helps to have like high resistance, to abuse that resistance to accuracy ratio. Another thing is having a really speedy defense, right? As I discussed earlier, because if you have Veramos on your defense on Nemesis, that's also another way to kind of combat the Wombo teams. If you do that, then you'll have I would say 190 speed Veramos is good. And then you're going to want to have everyone else around that same speed. And then when they hit you with Nemesis runes, if they don't one-shot you, and they don't have someone to reduce the attack bar, like Charlotte or even like Poseidon, you will proc Nemesis. If you have at least, I would say, 26 to, like anywhere from 26 to 30k on your Veramos, you should survive, depending on the monster it is. And you should remove the defense break. And then on top of that, you'll heal. Right? So I use Praha for my Nemesis, okay? Just to give you an example. If you did use something like Jasoon with Nemesis, I don't have Nemesis on there, but I should, and then you could use Belladion with Nemesis, that works as well. So to get you guys started out, you're definitely going to want Nemesis runes and Will runes and Violent. Those main three ones are by far I would say the top tier runes. Also, Revenge runes. Those seem to have some pretty good RNG rolls in them, especially with stuff like Theomars. I don't know what's up with that, but this is... I don't want you guys to think this is a kind of, by all means, don't think that it's just an end to the arena kind of guide, I guess. It's just kind of like a little explanation, more or less, on what you should expect. So if you guys are going to be making a team for defense, then you're definitely going to want Nemesis runes, Will runes, and Violent runes. Now this is when you're going up to Guardian 1. So this is for you mid-game, kind of pushing towards end-game players. That's the way I look at it. And I've been doing pretty well. I mean, it's been like 2 to 3 months since I pushed, but I should be able to push higher than I have before. I'm starting to get some good pools, some better runes, and definitely... From my experience, from all the defenses I've tried, the best defenses are the speediest and the ones that can counter both Wombo and Lucian teams. Those ones are definitely the best ones. Now, you may not win it all the time. Just because you have counters to like each and type offense doesn't mean you're going to win them. Some units, they don't use their skills. Some units, they just don't do it properly, or maybe you just get really outplayed. But there's certain circumstances for which you will win, and you want to increase your success rate as much as possible. Also, it's good to make sure that you win a lot midweek so that people are scared to hit you during rush hour. Also, one last thing, for like the last 5 minutes of arena, like 5 to 10 minutes, you will want to run stall. And what I mean by stall is having stuff like Rena, Chloe, Revivers, and stuff like that. Okay, just a bunch of healers, revivers, and units to stall. Dias is just a pain in the ass too. He's able to do that as well. Like having monsters that have less crit rate chance, for some reason they just survive forever. It's crazy, but yeah, definitely you're gonna want to have stall for like the last 10 minutes. So this is kind of like something. This is new territory for me to kind of start talking about arena. So if you guys want to hear more about Arena, I can discuss that. If not, I'm going back to the monster discussion as well. So if you guys actually think would be useful for you guys, I can be more in depth. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. So for you mid-game players, let me know what you think, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you all in the next episode. Stay awesome.